Live from kinda close to New Orleans. It's just past Saturday night. And welcome, folks, to the Lost Begotten channel. Woohoo, blah blah blah. Tonight, we're going to be talking about HAARP. 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 I don't know. Do you have to say it like the A.A.R.P cartoon? I don't know. That's what it reminds me of. Every time I see it, A.A.R.P. Yeah. Buy some old people insurance. But before I get started, I wanted to talk to Mr. Daniel Burke, who I just received a Facebook message from. Haven't been on Facebook for quite a while, and I'm glad I just happened to check it. Those of you who pray for people on my channel, please pray for Mr. Daniel, because he lost his kid just recently, a couple months ago. And I don't know how much detail he wants me to go into it, so I just wanted to say a couple things directly to him. And to anyone else who might have lost a loved one recently. Just remember that when you feel that sadness for them being gone, that sadness is yours, not theirs. You know, as cliche as it is, they're in a better place. Well, it's true. And in this case, we're talking about a really good person. Loving, kind, caring, cared about other people more than they cared about themselves. And when somebody like that gets called back from this world, the people that get left here can't take it. And rightly so, because it's our loss. There's not enough people like that, and we know it. And we damn ourselves for not realizing that often enough, and trying to be more like that person, or those people, who are our heroes when we're thinking right. But the rest of the time, we got our heads in our asses, and we're trying to hit the feeder bar, get the next paycheck. You know. And if you never take enough time, not Dana, because I know his baby know he loves him. But there's a lot like myself, for instance. There's been people who I've never been able to talk to again because they passed away. And I wished afterwards that I could have thanked them for who they were, that I could have let them know that they were a good influence on my life. Just let them know that I really loved them. my oldest sister, who basically used to take care of me. She passed away a few years ago now. It's almost been 10 years, and it's still seems just like yesterday, you know. So, take care, Daniel. Be strong. I know I don't gotta tell you. Don't give up. Because I already know you say it in your prayers. You don't gotta be so tough when you pray, man. God knows you. You don't gotta keep reminding him. But you're doing good, man. That's all I can say. You're doing good, and I love you. And I hope we all learn more from those who leave us, whether or not they have to, collectively kick our asses as angels and make us do the right things. That'd be fine by me. Anyways. So speaking of angels, I thought this kind of looked like a face kind of guy there, right? This is actually like my wife had taken pictures of it from the other angle over here. This is my video from a few months ago. Ooh, boy, 160 views, wow. It's very nice that people get like 1 million views for lying. Isn't it? Must be nice to just be somebody's bitch and being paid to deceive your fellow man. You know, to just not give a fuck on that level must be nice. I don't have the ability to just fucking hate people for existing. Because you'd have to hate people for existing to say that there's a HAARP conspiracy, and there's a ChemTrail conspiracy, and that your own government is somehow, out to get you. The only thing our government is out to get you about is they're out to get you to spend money. They're out to get you to go shopping. Okay? That's it. That's it. Government's job is to keep the economy going. That's all they fucking do. That's all they're good at. That's all they know. Okay, that's what every decision is based on. Okay? And the reason why is because we don't have Solomon's gold. That's the movies. That's fiction. Okay? The people with Solomon's gold are the people who obviously have all the fucking gold they could possibly want. You know, the people who decorate everything with it. Now, so let's talk about HAARP. Okay? This is not made by HAARP. This is made by a fucking plane. In fact, there were a couple of different planes that made holes in a couple different areas. Okay? But the reason why I posted this is because that plane gave an opportunity for a spiritual energy to manifest fractally into the visual spectrum. Okay? Which can be as simple as some leaves in a tree lining up to make a face. Okay? But in this case, it was a, kind of a thing between me and my wife that day. But anyways. because me and my wife are spiritual beings. We just happen to have human bodies too. Anyways. So this is HAARP. This is actual HAARP, okay? This is in Alaska. Okay. Which I find by itself, the fact that it's in Alaska, to be pretty obvious the whys, whos, and hows. Like, okay, the reason why we're talking about this and the fact that it's in Alaska are very, very closely related subjects. And to illustrate the reason why, I would like to show you a few things that you might not have seen before. I'm just trying to pull them up on my cell phone right quick. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. Man, that must be some kind of super HAARP, right? Look at that one right there. Okay. See that? See that? Right? So our government's supposed to be, okay, flat earthers. Let's see, our government, right? Did somebody see a little trick and get clued in onto why this is a joke? So our government is supposed to be bouncing off radio waves through the ionosphere, which doesn't fucking exist, and a satellite is supposed to ricochet off a satellite, okay, and that powers a laser which can heat up tectonic plate faults and cause hurricanes and shit. Okay, yeah, that's fascinating. So, if this guy here in Alaska can cause like Hurricane Katrina and Fukushima, and that's what these fucking people say. That's what the conspiracy theories say. Okay, and I'm going to get into exactly what this is in a second. Okay, if this can cause the Fukushima disaster and Hurricane Katrina with a laser, just imagine what all these could do. They could turn killer whales into giant space aliens that went around anally raping hippopotamuses. Hippopotami? Who cares, you know, after it gets anal raped by a fucking space whale. Yeah. Look at that, look at that. It's huge. It's much bigger, right? Look at that. That thing's fucking scary looking. That could probably make your testicles explode where you're sitting right now. Okay? Man, our government is really out to get us. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, shit. Well, what the fuck is that? Oh wait, no, I already know what that is because I have, you know, like an education and I'm aware of fucking history and basics on reality and shit like that. And so what I see when I see something like this, especially considering the fact that I actually understand the electronics behind it without having to sit there and do math about the kilowatts and shit like that. I don't need all that. I don't need all that. I can look at it and tell you what it does and how it works, okay? Oh look, there's an actual fucking transmitter. Holy shit. This, 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 none of this, none of this transmits fucking anything, okay? This does not transmit anything, okay? It can't power a fucking satellite. No. This is just what it looks like. A giant 1960s TV antenna. Only a whole bunch of them. And you know what it does? It does the same exact thing that this and this and this have done in Europe for decades. Okay? Decades. I'm sorry, my hand fucking not holding the cell phone very still. But you've probably already seen it. You've probably seen pictures of these with people saying that they're, you know, CIA shit. Well, these are all Russian installations right here. Okay, these are all Russian installations. There's that one in Alaska. Okay, and the reason why it's in Alaska is because it's a radar antenna. It is a high sensitivity radar antenna. What they're designed to do is exactly what the Russians say that they're designed to do, which is pick up aircraft, missiles, and other objects in the sky. Okay? Now what Russia says that they can do with their big ones that I just showed, and some even bigger ones that I didn't just show, which are similar to the HAARP facility, but taller like the Russian one. You know, it's basically two different approaches, and then there's one that has the combined approach, alright? And this one is, I believe, like right between Grozny and Moscow, if you're on the map. Okay, like... Anyways. So, what the Russians say that they can do is detect a stealth bomber, detect a stealth fighter, no problem. Okay? And that's what these things do. They pick up very, very minute changes in the transmitted beacon. Okay? Now, in this site, in Alaska, there are transmitters. Okay? There are transmitters. They might not even be within this array. They're probably housed over here. Okay? And the thing is, these cannot be transmitters. Alright? Because if they transmitted something, it would basically just dissolve. I mean, if you put a transmission through a physical structure like that, it becomes scrambled. Alright? What this does is it passively allows absorption of a wider signal so that that signal can be processed and de-scrambled. Okay? And basically the idea is the actual transmission beacon sends something up into the air, alright? And that bounces off of objects, whatever object, whether it's freaking electrical layers in the sky caused by massive radio bombardment. Okay, you know what the ionosphere? Let me just make a little side note here. The ionosphere is where all the shit that we send up into the sky kind of concentrates. Okay, we're constantly beaming up all this shit into the sky, and there's this place where it's just filled with ions because we do that. You know, we've basically created the ionous layer. Okay, there is no sphere. All right, you know, it's like Neo's spoon. It's not really there. So a transmitter needs to go in a direction. Okay? See this? This is what happens when you get a booger stuck to your finger. No, I mean, okay. So this is like a little pulse. Just pick, like, if you look inside your cell phone, the actual antenna device is always elongated. If you look at any type of transmitting, receiving thing, there's always a single elongated thing. Okay? That's because the signal literally needs to physically bounce up and down this thing to be transmitted clearly. Okay? To make it even clearer, you put a satellite dish under it. Then when it bounces up this way, it goes against the dish and can go even further because it's wide and concentrated, and it all stays the same. The entire dish must be equidistant from this point. Okay? Or else it's fucking gibberish. It dissolves into the fucking air. Alright? So you're being told that these things are transmitters when they can't transmit a damn thing. Okay, there are transmitters at these locations, but this big scary thing that they're showing you has nothing to do with that. Now, Alaska, right? Alaska here. Russia here. No further questions, Your Honor. I mean, okay, just take a look at Crimea, okay? What happened in Crimea? A bunch of propaganda caused local people to surround military bases and help facilitate their fall. Well, what are these channels calling for? What are these conspiracy crazies calling for on this channel? Ultimately, they're trying to get you to mass around these facilities and protest them. They'd really like it if one of y'all, took action to try to take these people down, because you would literally be doing the dirty work of Russian intelligence. This is not a big mystery. This is not a conspiracy. This is something that people can figure out if they just take a step back and try to apply some common sense to what's going on in the world. Okay? And I'm sorry that a crazy guy on YouTube that thinks he's Jesus or whatever had to be the one to tell you. But you need to come back to reality. And stop believing in everything that makes you fucking hate Obama or whatever. Just because it fits in with this narrative. Like ChemTrails, okay? ChemTrails. You know why ChemTrails kept happening? We were buying jet fuel from Russia almost exclusively. The entire grade of fuel required for jet fuel, the market was dominated by Russia during that time frame, okay? And it's actually been reduced since then, but we still have to buy some of it from Russia. And then you get the actual intentional sprayings. Well, I enjoy tracking these reports because every time there's some intentional sprayings, there's usually reports previously of Russian exercises of some sort off of a nearby coast. Okay, and what we've done since World War II, especially on the West Coast, is during times like, okay, in the past few months, there was a shit ton of chemtrails on the West Coast. Math Powerland videotaped them. But what Math Powerland didn't know was that there was a joint Chinese-Russian naval exercise 800 miles off the coast of Washington, right south of the Aleutian Islands. And it was aerially active, and they could have been doing recon on the West Coast. So guess what? We made some clouds. Okay? Because you don't want an army that could attack you. Okay? This fleet that was doing these exercises could have attacked us with impunity. Okay? Wake up, people. This is real. they could have attacked us with impunity if, and only if, they had real-time intel on what we had on the ground over there on the West Coast. Okay? But if we kept that a mystery and they didn't know where the targets were that they would need to attack, it becomes a standoff. It stays a standoff. Okay? And a lot of what HAARP and everything else is geared towards is maintaining this standoff that has gone on since 1945. And make no mistake, it is one hell of a tense standoff and has never abated any more than just what the public was told. So I guess that's all I'm going to talk about tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And stay safe. Stay skeptical, even with your faith. And like I said on previous videos, if you're tired of the well-produced, dishonest videos, I have some very poorly produced, filled with truth videos. Over 400 of them. Please go back and check them out. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Peace.